spirit animal is a snail when I'm on the bike. Ain't that pretty. Oh, and I just ripped the crotch of these pants. I really blew these pants out. This Skywater off. Oh, I got soaked. Oh, another puddle. Are you kidding me? Woo! That was deep. 51 tooth made it so I could literally just use throttle there. I had a little report with some more detail about the 51 tooth sprocket, which I've been asked about by Meese rides. I was on the highway just now. The 51 tooth sprocket, it really did not decrease like the comfortable cruising speed for the Kove, but what it did do was obviously increase the RPMs in 6th gear. So going 80 miles an hour exactly, my revs were at 7,500. It wasn't really an issue except for one thing, which was the handlebars were vibrating just a little bit. It's like this tiny little, it almost feels like an Xbox controller doing the rumble just constantly. So if you have hands that can get numb from that kind of thing, you might have to look into like foam grips. And then these Tusk D Sports on the highway, I really couldn't tell the difference from the stock tires. I don't know if part of why they felt so good was because I have the steering stabilizer on there now. It has been a rainy week. I've been sitting inside looking like that Pablo Escobar meme of just waiting around for the weather to get nice so I can hop on the bike. For today's ride, I don't have anything too hardcore planned. Pretty much I wanted to get a feel for how these Tusk D Sports do in different situations. So I have us heading up Rampart Range Road and then going out and around Ormes Peak. After that, depending on how much time we have left, we're either going to go do a little bit of 717A or we're just going to head back. We'll have to see how we're doing on time. This is like surface streets around town kind of riding on them. They don't have that like weird feel that you get with knobbies where they kind of fold over when you lean on them. They just feel like regular tires, to be honest. I'm also working on a video reviewing, I'm sorry, not reviewing, comparing the XR650L and the Kove. Super popular tourist spot. Let's get up in here a little bit and then I will lower my tire pressure whenever I have a nice pull off. Up away from the tourists before I do this. Find a nice pretty spot. Wind up taking a layer or two off too. Ain't that pretty. Drop the pressures down, so we're at 15 in the back, 14 and a half in the front. We got passed by a few cars, a few people on pedal bicycles that were then gonna immediately pass ourselves. Up here is a little split in this road, and I don't like to do it on the way up, but on the way down Rampart Range Road, there is like this little rock ledge that you can drop off, and then there's a whole bunch of ruts right after it that are like, it almost looks like moguls on a ski slope, and it's super fun to go down, not as much on the way up it. Especially today when they're going to be all filled in with muddy water. right there, that rock ledge. Probably walk around this corner to the top and just show you all what it looks like. Park right up here. No one's gonna steal my shit. Yeah, looks like someone had a fire here, but this is what I'm talking about. I usually come in right through here, drop down all this, and then weave my way through that, but there's a whole bunch of puddles and trash all through there. And on the way up, I usually try to take like this line right up here or out a little further. And this edge is just a little bit sketchy when we look at it, with the stab you through the fucking chest branches. I don't know how well the camera's going to do justice to this. It's not terrible. It's a good little warm-up if I'm going to go do some stuff that requires me to like climb rock faces and whatnot. And it's also fun on the way back down because you can just kind of launch off this and land, and you have enough run out before you get to those big dips. Man, such a gorgeous bike, and she's all clean. Let's pull over under a tree. I'll take the brake here, throw on some rain gear, and change the GoPro battery out. The sun pops back out, and it's nice and clear. But I'm gonna leave the pants on because they were kind of a pain to get over the boots, and I did tear both the pants and the jacket. So right there on the pants, ripped that, trying to pull it over the boot, and then on the jacket behind my shoulder, when I was trying to put the and I just ripped the crotch of these pants. Well, folks, don't buy the cheap rain suit from Walmart. Thought I was so smart keeping that thing in my bag. If I had known it was going to be a complete piece of crap, I wouldn't have even bothered spending the like $15 on it. Here we are at Ormes Peak. Now there's two different roads here. You can get out to the actual peak. One of them is Devil's Kitchen, and the other one is just a regular Ormes Peak road. I've never done Devil's Kitchen before, so maybe I'll try that. Car up my butt. Sir, don't you see how crappy this weather is? There's the reservoir out there. I've tried to go there once, but it's all gated off. They don't want people near it because it's drinking water. Not like I was trying to go get a bath in, but I just wanted to see it up close. Up to the split here. We're gonna stay straight, but I might go check out Devil's Kitchen. Like I said, I've never been down there and love me some exploring. That is the road to the reservoir right there. But like I said, it's all gated off. You can't actually get in. So I was wrong. The split for Devil's Kitchen is not until further ahead. Oh shit. Deep ass water. That Subaru didn't care as much as I did, but his feet will stay dry. Hell yeah on that edge grip. I didn't slide down into the rut at all. I don't know how that dude is keeping up with me so well. Usually a car like that on this kind of stuff is pretty slow, just creeping along. falling behind now, which is good. I don't like having someone right up next to me, directly behind me. The split back there some way. Oh, another puddle. Are you kidding me? I don't think I can go around this one either. Woo! That was f***ing deep. I forgot my medical fanny pack today. Yep, we're definitely not doing any sort of single track. No way, Jose. This kind of stuff I have no issue without it. I don't know where that leads, but interesting. But yeah, like 2-track like this, I'm not super worried, especially because I'm not riding super fast. But single track would be a bit of a concern for me. I knew when I left home today that I was forgetting something, but I was running so late getting out that I was like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I have everything I need on the bike. What I really want to do is make a little med kit to go behind the rally tower and in between it and the windshield slash fairing. I feel like that would be a super convenient spot to put one. And then I don't have to worry about situations like this where I forget it. Not having to ride the clutch when I'm going through that slower speed stuff. So nice. Obviously I still have to if I'm crawling along, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. That sprocket is such a huge difference. Now it's really coming down. Probably going to make this footage look like crap. Being terrified of all these rocks when I first came up here. They're so small now. It's like I don't even know how I ever thought that this was a slightly difficult trail. Yeah, I know it's a dead end. Don't get me wrong, it's a green no matter how you slice it, but I thought it was a more difficult green when I first came down it, and now I realize how naive I was. If it wasn't so crappy, I'd be ripping along here. Gosh, can you believe it? I didn't have to slide down into the rut. I can actually hold an edge. I wonder if anyone's even going to bother watching me anymore now that I'm not going to have to walk the bike as much. Sheesh. Actually riding? The end of the trail. Now on the map it lies to me and it says that this connects to Devil's Kitchen, but I can guarantee you it doesn't. You would think this small path off to the right there would be it, but that thing dead ends pretty quickly. Oh yeah, I really blew these pants out If it was a clear day, we'd be able to see all the way to the Air Force Academy from here. I don't know how far up these rocks I want to go with all the water. Kind of slippery, but I'll see what kind of view I can get today. So, Air Force Academy is down that way. And this is all a forest fire burn scar here. Good little ride out. Nice and chill. Some of you may be wondering, because this is not the first time I'm out in wet conditions, why I don't use waterproof gear. And there's one reason. Waterproof gear keeps all your sweat in and keeps the wind out. So it winds up just turning into like one of those little wearable sauna suits pretty quickly. And I usually run pretty hot. So having to sit in my own sweat while I'm riding is not a pleasant sounding experience. I probably should, like I said, invest in a like a proper rain suit, since I refuse to run the waterproof gear. Oh, sweet! 51 tooth made it so I could literally just use throttle there. That was so nice. Anyway, I should probably invest in like an actual rain suit, but I can just dry stuff out when I get home. Not a big deal. It's not like I'm going out for like a multi-day trip. Wow, I held that edge nice. Slow down here for this one, but still held it. Hell yeah. Little clutch there, little rear brake. We're around the corner. Man, these tires are like 10 times better than the stock ones. I'd say they're like 90% as good on the road. Obviously the stock tires are better on the pavement because of the design of the tread, but for being 90% as good on road, they're like 1.5 or 2 times as good off road. Might not be able to tell, but that's just because my spirit animal is a snail when I'm on the bike. Maybe I'd ride faster if I didn't care to take in all the beautiful sights. I just love nature. Being out in it like this. So therapeutic. After sitting in an office all week, can't even see the sun. This is where it's at, baby. I was originally actually planning on moto camping today, but with the forecast being what it is, I do not like camping in the rain. I don't really like rain at all. I know some people do. The only time I like rain is when it's the sound of it coming from my white noise machine to put me to sleep. Other than that, this sky water can f*** off. Actually being able to climb out of ruts is a game changer. Holy crap. I used to do it on my XR all the time. Kove was making it difficult. And it absolutely just crushed that little divot in the middle of that hill climb. That's a combo of the tires and the 51 tooth, because before I would have not been able to get much traction there. And I would have had to ride the clutch. I was seriously considering picking up a Recluse for this bike. And I know, just learn proper clutch control, man. My clutch control's not bad. I mean, my wheelies are ass, but other than that, I can slip it pretty dang good. It's just when first gear was so tall with that stock sprocket, when first gear is so tall with that stock sprocket, it makes it really hard to stay in the friction zone without stalling out. So I would have to give it a ton of throttle and really be slipping the clutch if I wanted to try to get the rear traction up through that kind of stuff. Now this gearing feels almost as low as my XR did. I think the XR is still a little bit lower geared. At least for first. Fifth gear on it is pretty dang tall, but I also have I think 1548 gearing on that, and with no clutch I can just kind of crawl at 5 miles an hour with it. And a lot of people even go down to 1448 on that thing. I just wanted to keep the gear ratio at least somewhat acceptable for the highway. That seemed like the best middle ground. Alright, I went this way. Oh! I got soaked! Holy crap! Got nasty puddle water in my mouth. I wonder where that Subaru got off to. Don't see him out here. That hole in these pants is right along my entire butt, and the seat's wet right now, so I'm a little unhappy with that. Confidence inspiring. I feel like I can attack so much faster. Ah, here's the big one. I was like right at the sole of my boots, so call it like 14 inches deep. Oh, there's the Subaru. The dude out there just taking pictures, enjoying beautiful Colorado. Did see that turn off for Devil's Kitchen. I mean, I've looked for it before. I wasn't paying super close attention this time because it's already 11:45, so I got to start making my way out, but I'm not even sure it exists. And the stupid thing is that when Onyx Off-Road is plotting a route, it wants you to use that instead of the trail that we stayed on. So if you click all the way out on Ormes Peak and have it navigate for you, it tries to take you that way because it's like half a mile less distance or something. So it thinks it's better. You can't even find the dang trailhead for it. Slid out a little bit there. Not unexpected in the wet, and I don't think I was doing a great job of counter-leaning. I have to like activate my brain into that mode. Lean the bike and stay upright. Just way too many years of being on the street. I'm always trying to lean into the corner, and that just makes it feel terrible off-road, like you got no grip. Ugh. I got a muddy puddle water drip into my mouth. I'm gonna pull over and spit this out in a sec. Ugh. I'm not trying to get giardia. Good thing I just cleaned the bike. I'll need to take it out and get it nice and muddy. You know, that is kind of what adventure bikes are for. I could have this nice and pristine and only ride at the Starbucks like the good old GS boys with their fancy little one-piece suit that is always some sort of neutral color, and their hard bags, or hard panniers. Those are some pristine bikes, but you bought an adventure bike. I don't want a dang adventure, man. I don't think Starbies really counts too much. Alright, now I have to decide where I want to go. I think I'm going to continue north on Herman here. Or not Herman, Rampart. It does look like there's still some clouds up ahead and behind me, so we're gonna hit rain no matter what. I'm thinking rip my way up to, I don't exactly know what the name of this road is called, but on the map it has it listed as GPS transmitter trap. Whatever. Sure, I guess that could be a road name. So the little GPS trap is like a fast flowy 2-track that takes you up to Mount Herman, and then I can use Mount Herman Road to exit out of the mountains, hop on the highway and head home. Mooses, oh my gosh, a baby one? I'm trying to stay away from them. Oh, hell yeah, that was a steep ass hill. There's a fence here. There's a moosey there. I don't want to get near them. They can get aggressive, which is why I missed that first turn, because that's where the baby was running. I didn't want to cut it off. We're not even at the fast forest section yet. Still making our way. Almost broken out into song right there, but I don't want my poor viewers, all 10 of them, to have their ears bleeding. Sing a little, making my way downtown. Walking fast. See if I can't find a good spot to sit down and relax for a minute. Oh, perfect. Speak it into existence and it shall be, I guess. No, we're really good to sit, but that's fine. I'll chill for a minute and catch y'all back up. We'll continue down this, and right down there is where it turns into a pretty fast 2-track. Took my little break, swapped the battery out on the GoPro again just to be safe, even though we don't have much longer. And it wound up being kind of fortuitous that the pants ripped like that, because I didn't even have to pull them down to go make a little tinkle in the woods. I am so happy with these tires from that little hill climb when we started this. Super slow speed. I was sitting down over the back of the bike, and if I was on stock tires, it would just have spun still. I would have had to ride the clutch way more, but I just gave it a little throttle, slipped the clutch just a touch, and it powered right up like it was nothing. There was a truck that went by like a minute or two ago, so I'm going slow, trying to give him some room. That way when I get down to the fun section of this trail, I don't have to go behind him and wait for a spot to pass. Hopefully he makes it all the way through, or he pulls over before we get there. There's like a whole bunch of little camping spots along here. I also noticed that my GoPro mount might have been a little bit crooked, so if your view was askew, I'm sorry. No water crossings, hell yeah. Hell yeah, this can turn into like a giant puddle right here, because you got swampy bullshit on either side. Alright, here we go. Second gear. Just gonna flow along nicely. We'll go slow to avoid the puddle. Not that I'm already not going slow. Doesn't really open up and get super fun until up here, so outside peg enough. What's this corner do? I forget. Oh, just opens up. And we're at good old Mount Herman Road. Someone who's a lot better of a rider than me could probably rip that whole thing. But I'm just over here with the mediocre grasp on using the controls and body position and barely any skills. Fun fact, because I'm full of these random little tidbits of knowledge, the paper industry is actually carbon negative. It's one of the few industries that is, and you wouldn't think so because they're constantly cutting down trees, but the whole point of the paper industry is to grow as many trees as fast as possible to then turn into paper. And because they plant so many, have them grow super fast, and then cut them down and plant more, all that carbon dioxide is getting locked up in the trees. So even with all of the emissions from the trucks and, you know, whatever nastiness comes out of paper mills that are making this stuff, it actually is good for the environment. So, you know, print out that 600-page shop manual. You're saving the environment. I'm not going to talk printer ink. The only fun fact I have there is not really fun, and it's that printer ink is more valuable by weight than gold. It's not because it's super complex to make or anything, but it's because the companies decide that's what the price is. And screw you if you think it should be cheaper. How else are they going to pay their CEOs those bonuses, man? first experience on this road was, I want to say like early to mid-spring, and we tried to come up it with a group. I was on my old XR. Buddy didn't have his beta yet, so he was on his 390, and then we had an Africa Twin, a BMW GS, and a Transalp with us as well. Big old group. And I think right about here is where the snow started coming the other direction, and it got real nasty real fast. I don't know if you've ever tried to help pick up an Africa Twin or a BMW GS in the slush and ice and snow, but it's not a good time. We wound up having to turn around on that trip because I forget who it was. I think it was the Africa Twin. He like did his best going up a hill, but he carried just a bit too much momentum, slid out at the top, and he was like inches from sliding off a cliff, him and his bike. So after that we were like, yeah, I think we all choose life. We'll go ahead and turn around. More for the sake of those adventure bike guys with their, like, I think it was mostly street-oriented kind of tires, almost touring-style ones that just looked a little bit more aggressive. Back up, get these rain pants off, get back on pavement. Alright, got the tires aired back up. They already don't feel great on this hard packed dirt with lots of pressure in them. I mean, not lots, but 25. Yeah, rear likes to slide around at high pressures. But I got my directions loaded up to go get myself some pho for lunch on this little, you know, rainy, crappy kind of day. Nice warm soup would be nice. Let me get some of that sweet Vietnamese soup. See y'all on the next one. My spirit animal is a snail when I'm on the bike. Ain't that pretty. Oh, and I just ripped the crotch of these pants. I really blew these pants out. This Skywater just off. Come on! I got soaked! Oh, another puddle, are you kidding me? Woo! That was easy. 51 tooth made it so I could literally just use throttle there.